Yeah, good morning, everyone. Yesterday, US market remained more of a flattish, wherein Nasdaq had seen some bounce back after day before yesterday's fall. Uh, Fed came up with no change policy action, no interest was changed, and has not indicated any fresh round of uh, decline in their bond buying program. Uh, the bond buying, though they said that the economic is progressing even after increasing COVID cases, but it's an early time to give any indications on when they will start unwinding of the bond buying program. So more of a from before Fed and after Fed there is meeting, there is no change. It's just things are as usual. So no impact of Fed meeting. Uh, as such, we are seeing that the even Asian markets are more of a flattish, wherein Hong Kong and China are seeing some up move after last 2 3 days consistent decline. Hong Kong market though opened at a higher note, but had seen some decline from there. Though still it is high by around 1.25% from yesterday's low. Apart from that, even in commodities also there is no much changes today. If you see Australia is up by, aluminum is up by around 0.5%, copper is down by around 0.8%, iron ore is down by around 0.3, and even steel is up by around 0.4%. So no major changes. Oil is also at near to 75, which was there yesterday as well. So more of a mix, flattish signal from international market. Now I'll request technical team to take up from here.
Yes, thank you, sir. Good morning, all of you. This is Swati. Yesterday, we have seen that the Nifty has just touched its 50 days moving average. And from the last 4 5 trading session, we are continuously witnessing a profit bookings at the higher levels. Yesterday, we have seen that the Nifty somehow managed to maintain a positive closing above its 50 days moving average, which comes to at around 15,650 levels, which gives some sort of a relief sign. But looking towards the technical setups of the Nifty as well as on a bank Nifty, I believe that the view will remain cautious. This selling pressure is likely to be continue for the coming 2 to 3 days also. As of now, 15,650 will act as an immediate support zone. If it's break that level, then this selling pressure is likely to be continued, which might take a Nifty towards 15,500 to 15,400 levels on the downsides. Whereas on the higher side, 15,800 will be the immediate support resistance level. If it's break that level, then only we can witness some pullback rally towards 15,870 to 15,900 levels on the higher side. But from the last 3 to 4 trading session, we are continuously witnessing a lot of slow bottom pattern on the Nifty front. So the view will remain a cautious. Selling pressure is likely to be continued as long as Nifty doesn't break the 15,900 levels on the higher sides. So just trade each and every stocks with the strict stop losses. On the bank Nifty front, yesterday we have seen that the bank Nifty has touched its 100-day moving averages, and we have seen some pullback rally on an intraday basis, which helped the Nifty to maintain a closing above 34,500 levels. Now today is the Thursday weekly expiry day. We are going to just face the volatile trading session. So I believe that we might see some continuous momentum into this particular indices. On the higher side, bank Nifty has a very strong resistance at around 34,700 level. If it's break that level, then we can witness some pullback rally towards 34,900 to 35,000 level. Now 35,000 level will act as a crucial psychological resistance zone. It's also provided by its 50 days moving average. So the view will remain cautious as long as bank Nifty trades below 35,000 levels. Whereas on the lower side, 34,300 will be the immediate support zone. If it's break that level, then again we might retest this 34,100 to 34,000 levels. So the overall view is definitely cautious on both the indices. On the Nifty finance front, as of now, we are continuously witnessing a selling pressure in this particular counter also. So I believe the view will be to remain cautious on this particular indices. For the today intraday purpose, the resistance is placed at 16,720 levels. Any move above that level, then only we can see some positive momentums, which might take a Nifty Finance towards 16,850 to 16,900. On the downside, 16,450 will be the immediate support level. If it's break that level, then 16,300, 16,200 levels can be seen. So these are the important support and resistance level on the three indices. Stock specific, ITC really looks good at the current level. From the last few trading session, we have witnessed a positive momentum into this particular counter. As of now, the stock is trading at 209, 210 levels. It is well placed above its 20 days moving average, which gives some relief sign. So I believe we might see some positive momentum into this particular counter, which might take a ITC towards 218 to 220 levels. So those who are having any long positions, they can definitely hold on, maintain the strict stop loss of 205 for this particular stock. I think that's it from my end. I request derivative guys to take a call forward.
Yeah, thank you, Swati. Good morning, everyone. This is Amit Bhuttani. So, as per yesterday's derivative data, we have seen major sell-off was seen in the yesterday's trading session, but sharp recovery also was seen. As I'm saying from last many days and on Tuesday's session also, as we said that once Nifty, if it gives closing below 15,600 level, then only our exit your long positions or else hold your long positions. And this is the fourth time we have seen the Nifty came below 15,600 and it managed to give closing above 15,600 level. In yesterday's trading session, we have seen that the Nifty closed at 15,700 mark, and today, as per the global market and as per the SGX, we are seeing the positive opening in the market. So currently, strength remains a positive only. As per we have seen that the global scenario and the global pressure, we have seen the market was in pressure from last 2 to 3 days, and Nifty is currently facing resistance at 15,900 to 950 mark on the upper hand. So currently Nifty is in the range 15,600 to 15,950 zone. Till the further breakout of this two level, then only we might expect the trend clearance in the market. We are seeing that the PCROI yesterday came down very low and it closed at 0.93 level. So it is trading at a very low level. So we expect PCROI is also having support at 0.82 to 0.84 level. And on the higher end, once again, if PCROI manages to give break of 1.02, it will again get a momentum towards 1.15 to 1.18 level. So strength remains a positive in the market. Currently, we are seeing from the stock specific, as I recommended by ICICI Bank and BEL in Tuesday's trading session. These two, both the stocks are holding strong momentum, and we have recommended in our company also, and we have said that we should buy ICICI Bank 680 call and BEL 210 call for next 1 to 2 trading sessions, and we expect strong momentum to come from these two counters. Currently, for next 1 to 2 trading session, we expect ICICI Bank and BL need to be created long positions. Thank you.
Yeah, good morning everyone. Birlasoft has posted inline set of numbers for the quarter. However, management has guided for a revenue growth of being in mid-teens in FY22. In Q2, management has guided operating margins to be stable in spite of the wage hike impact. And from H2 onwards, margins is expected to improve with operational efficiency. Outlook is positive on the company. Share is trading at 20.6 times FY23 EPS. Coforge has had its call yesterday, wherein management has upgraded revenue guidance for FY22 to grow above 19% on organic level versus guidance of 17%. Even on margin front, management has maintained the guidance of 19%, and Q2 management indicates margin will improve by 200 bips. Outlook is positive on the company. Oracle Finance has posted its result, and the company has posted improved set of numbers both on the revenue and the margin front. Share is trading at PE of 20.9 times TTM EPS. Happiest Mind has posted improved set of numbers with dollar revenue coming in at 33.2 million, which is up 9.6% Q1Q and 41.9% year on year. EBITDA margin has come in a little muted at 23.3% versus Q1Q of 25.3%. Share is trading at 91 times FY23 EPS. Intellect Design has posted its result. The company has posted inline set of numbers. Management has guided a revenue guidance of 15 to 20% for FY22. Share is trading at 29.2 times FY22 EPS. TCI Express has posted below expectation numbers both on the revenue and the margin front. Share is trading at 45.6 times FY22 EPS. Thank you.
Good morning. Maruti result was marginally below expectation, mainly because of lower margins impacted by increase in raw material costs. This should continue in Q2 as well. On the other hand, with demand continues to remain strong, pending bookings are at 1.7 lakh cars. Although company could lose some market share as there are not many new launches in the current year. Last year also they had lost some 100 odd basis points market share because of this. Overall, we are neutral on Maruti. UTI AMC revenue and EBITDA both grew by 19% on quarter basis. This is the highest in the AMC pack. Comparatively, the HDFC AMC grew by -4% on quarter basis, and Nippon by positive 7%. So clearly, it seems that the mix has also shifted more towards equity side. Although on AUM front, growth is barely 2% quarter-on-quarter, so increase in revenue and EBITDA is mainly because of more shift towards equity from debt. We expect the outperformance of UTI AMC to continue over the other two companies. ICRA result has improved, similar to CRISIL. Although here also ratings business has increased 10% year-on-year. Actually, in CRISIL's case, it was down. But non-ratings business has grown faster at almost 30%. So combined, this has led to 14% year-on-year growth for ICRA. We are positive on the company. JM Financial result was flattish. This has been the case with this stock until the real estate sector revives very strongly. Don't expect any much return from this stock. Performance from investment banking and broking has been lukewarm since last many quarters. We are neutral over here. That's it from my side.
Good morning, everyone. Yesterday, SRF announced their results, and results were mainly in line with expectation because whatever the outperformance on top line and bottom line came from the packaging and the nylon textile divisions, and not from the specialty, which has marginally been declined or muted. So that is why, despite the overall sales growing by 75%, we are in the view that it is in line with expectations. Pfizer announced their results, and as we have seen with the another MNC company, Sanofi, the results is above expectations. The stock is trading at 49 times FY22 EPS. Boltec Packaging announced the results, and results were broadly in line with the expectations. EBITDA margins were at 19% versus expectation of 19.7. Tata Coffee announced the results, and results were declining on the consolidated level basis. Sales degrew by 9%, and the margins were at 17% versus 19% last year. Radico Khaitan announced the results, and results were marginally above expectations. Sales grew by 47%, and margins were at 15.3% versus 18.5% last year. However, the street expectation was also at 15.3%. The stock is trading at 37 times FY22 EPS. Nestle announced the results, and as expected, the consumer companies are not able to maintain their margins. Results were broadly in line with expectations, as the EBITDA margins came at 24.4% versus expectation of 24.8%. However, the stock is trading at 61.6 times FY22 EPS, which is on the higher side. However, the stock always been an expensive one. But we believe that trading at these valuations and with this inline results, it can see some negative reaction in today's trade. Estate Life Science announced the results, and results were declining. RPG Life Science announced the results, and results have improved. The company has been posting good results for past 2 3 quarters. United Breweries announced the results, and results were below expectation. However, the volume came at 115% versus expectation of 104%, so which was little better than expectation. The margins came at 8.5% versus expectation of 9.7. So that was the major disappointment was. Um, Mahanagar Gas Limited announced the results, and results were above expectation at all counts. Today, Tatva Chintan Pharma Chemical Limited is listing. The subscription was 180 times. The issue price was 1083. It is at a specialty chemical manufacturing company. We are expecting a bumper listing for this. So we can expect around the listing at around 2000 rupees, which is almost double from the listing issue price. Another news is that Biocon's Simli, that is biosimilar Glargine, has received interchangeability status from US FDA against the Lantus drug, which has a $2 billion market. This is the first biosimilar to get this status. So, so basically, it can be the dealers or the chemists can give Simli as against Lantus, and they don't need any separate prescription for this. Currently, Simli has 2.5% market share, which is expected to go up to 15 to 20% with this interchangeability status. However, the benefit would be visible from FY23, but this is a major positive, and we believe a positive reaction in today's trade. Thank you.
Good morning. Months came up with the results yesterday, and the result is above expectation. Volume declined by 14% sequentially, but realization was by 9% at 4463 crores. EBITDA per ton came at 1218 crores, up by quarter on quarter. The margins came at 27% versus expectation of 26%. The share is trading at EV by EBITDA 57 times FY23 EBITDA. Usha Martin Limited came up with its results, and the result is declining. Revenue declined by 6% at 615 crores. EBITDA also declined by 11% sequentially at 91 crores. Margins were lower at 15% versus 16% quarter on quarter. Thank you.
Yeah, a few more results. Route Mobile came up with the numbers, and the numbers were below expectations. But management has said that the revenue, the result got impacted because of some disruptions in Indian operations. International operations has shown very good growth, but domestic operation, because of some glitches in their program, had suffered, and because of that, the revenue and margin came lower. But these got resolved, and now things are back to normal. And company maintained its guidance of 20-25% revenue growth, and indicated that may be increased in coming quarters. So overall outlook on revenue growth is positive. Whereas gross margin also got impacted because of glitches in Indian operations, where the margins in enterprise business are higher. Now again back to normal, and margins will remain at around 24.5 to 25%. This is gross margin. But the valuations are comparatively on the higher side at around 51 times. But the growth is multi-year and multifold for next many year. Company can keep on growing at 20-25% for many years with improving margins. So overall outlook from the long-term perspective is positive. So any major decline, if it comes in the stock can be purchased. Then Welspun India came up with the numbers. The stock, the numbers apparently looks strong, but has some benefit of the recently announced tax rebate, which government will be giving to all textile companies. So because of that, the company has accounted for current quarter rebate and even the previous quarter rebate as well in this quarter. So around 198 crore of additional EBITDA came because of this. Out of that, around 100 crore is relating to Q4. So if we exclude that, then also the result is above. But if we see the valuation and stock run up before the result seems quite high, and at current price looks stock looks costly. So one may look to see some decline in the stock in the near term. Apart from that, Century Textile came up with the numbers, and as expected, the paper division has shown very good growth and profitability, and even the textile division has also turned positive. So both those results has shown improvement, and apart from that, the key segment, that is property, there again few good development which has happened is that their Century mill has got IOD, so they can now progress on that and can start this project. And in Kalyan also, another project, phase 2 has got RERA approval. So there again, they can start the construction and all. So overall direction wise, as the property market is consistently improving, the direction is, outlook is positive for Century Textile. Apart from that, now results for 31st. So we have a Sarda Energy reporting results on 31st, and we had seen that the Godavari Power, which is also in pelleted, has shown very good numbers. So Sarda Energy is likely to report very good numbers. Even NTPC numbers are likely to show some improvement quarter on quarter, though year on year it will be flattish. Share is trading at around 6 time P, which seems comparatively cheaper. Then IDFC first result is there. Again, here the result will be getting impacted because of higher provisioning and all. So result is likely to be subdued. Then result on 2nd August as well. That is next Monday. Balaji Amines is likely to report number. The chemical prices of Balaji Amines manufacturers continue to remain strong. As such, they reported good numbers in the last quarter, so that trend can continue to be maintained in this quarter. Share has already showing sign of improvement ahead of results, which is indicate already increased by around 400-500 rupees in recent past. So a lot of gain might have been already captured. Carborundum Universal is likely to report number. Here, quarter on quarter, we may see some decline in revenue and profitability. Margin is likely to come off from 21% in last quarter to around 17%. So result may be okay or declining. Whereas Castrol is likely to report number here, again the result is likely to show decline quarter on quarter, though year on year the base was low. Emami is likely to report number here. The numbers are likely to show year on year growth of around 33% in revenue and 24% in 24% in EBITDA. But quarter on quarter, the things are likely to show some decline of around 12% in revenue and around 7% in EBITDA. So overall result will be more of a flattish type of thing. HDFC is likely to report number here. Profit before provisioning is likely to grow by around 10%, which is not so exciting. And credit cost is also likely to remain high. So overall result will be declining. Orient Cement is likely to show report number. Here Orient Cement, what we had seen that it's more of an eastern and south player. we had seen lower volume in these area, but EBITDA per ton has expanded ahead of expectations. So both Dalmia Bharat and even Ramco Cement has shown good improvement in EBITDA per ton. Quite possible similar trend can be visible in Orient Cement as well. Stock is comparatively better priced than the other players, so outlook is comparatively positive for Orient Cement. Then Varun Beverages is likely to report number here. Here, this is the key quarter or major quarter for Varun Beverages, as the cold drinks are getting more sold in this particular quarter. And last year also the key quarter got impacted, and this year also it got impacted. But this year it is impacted lesser. Even if we compare it with, though last year it is showing very good growth year on year, but if we compare it with last 2 year back, that is Q1 FY20, then we see that the revenues are shorter by around 15%, and EBITDA is also down by around 300 bps. So considering this decline of only 15% as compared to the normal quarter Q1, it looks comparatively okay. So in this lockdown of almost 1.5 month in this quarter, they had likely to show better numbers. So that's all from us. Thank you very much and have a good day.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel for in-depth interviews of India Inc. and press the bell icon so that you do not miss our updates.